been a minute, actually. Has
Yeah.
been a minute. Oh my goodness. And ah, you will. I guess what I can say is I am now two time nominated for ABN. I've been
Yeah.
celebrating this all week long and everything. And what's fuck me, that ain't shit. What's been going on with you, man?
I mean, no nominations over here, so like we can celebrate you. I'm cool with this. Yeah.
Oh my god. So, but what's been going on with you, man? What's been going on? Talk to me. What's been going on in the life of the dandy
So many good things. Everything's been kind of awesome lately. I've been really focusing on education. I've been teaching a lot. I've been hosting classes at my dungeon. I've been hosting parties and other like fun gatherings and things like that. Still making my fetish films. I
one?
am like very much focused on fetish and BDSM now, as I was before. But yeah, I've been having a really good time and just like kind of focusing on my own thing and working for myself and being kinky. That's about it.
Oh my goodness. So, look, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this out the damn way because we about to chop it up because she's one of the homies, man. I wish I could just give her a hug through the screen because she's just beautiful. It's time to smoke this over. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge.
Woo!
Two times nominated for the AVNs. And hopefully by
Amazing.
the time y'all see this, one that motherfucker podcast. You feel me? In the Smokers Lounge. I'm your host, Kavanaugh the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Find all my links with one link on mylinks.com /porn rap star. For sponsors, y'all know who they are. BioSismMagazine.com, BlushErotica.com, the Kinky Candle Company, as well as Mitchell Ferrari, the Queen of Law. You can find me 5 days out the week on FullSwapRadio.com in the morning so you can wake and bake, have some coffee, and listen to me chop it up with people. You feel me? And also stay on there and listen to a whole bunch of other great podcasts up there as well. And you can also catch me on sgpradio.com as well as skyhawkafterdarktv.com. Now, if you're a day one smoker, because I'm right now just celebrating it's as if this recording, I've been celebrating also my smoke anniversary, 4 years of the game. You
Yes.
know, y'all have seen her in the premium smoke room and on the smokers lounge. Y'all have heard her talk about what she do to subs. Y'all have seen the dungeon. Y'all have seen the booty. Y'all see the boobies. Y'all heard her talk about many things. You seen that pretty smile, and now she is back here on the smokers lounge. I'm talking about the beautiful goddess, the one and only, the princess of the world,
I like that.
Princess Dandy. Say hello to the smokers.
Hi, everyone. So fun to be back.
So, how it feels to educate people on the life.
It's so fun and it's so rewarding. And I get like, so for example, last night was a rope class, which I didn't teach technically, but I just hosted it at my dungeon. We had some great instructors come in and teach people how to do some basic ties,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did some advanced ties later on in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. You know, I got to connect with some fun people and some fun couples, and I did do a little bit of teaching because it was a pretty big class. So I would kind of run around and just check and make sure everyone's doing everything right. And it's just, I love being around people that want to learn and
Mm-hmm.
people that are really enthusiastic to like spice things up and make like the relationships even deeper and more fun. Like, I absolutely love people that have that beautiful mindset.
See, I'm gonna tell you, I used to. One of my favorite porn stars has always been Katie Morgan,
Ooh, yeah.
and one because she's gorgeous. And I remember first seeing her on Pornocopia when she first appeared, and in Space Nuts. Yeah. There was a movie called Space Nuts. People. Yeah. Only real people know where they actually, got the parody from. But I digress. Anyway, um, she went on to host do shows on HBO, but it was more of educational. You know, how much is ladies should think about, be willing, what I'm saying, and what it takes to go from you're now performer to now I am now teacher.
Hmm. Honestly, it just feels like the next natural step for a lot of us, I think, because especially as performers, we meet a lot of people who don't understand what we do. Like we do meet a lot of people who love watching our porn and have like never seen something like it before, so they have a lot of questions for us. So I think that we automatically do a lot of education, a lot of teaching, even on like simple things like health and safety when it comes to porn and when it comes to play and kink. We definitely just educate a lot of people without even meaning to. So it's definitely like the next natural step for people like me and her.
You see, also, and I had this conversation with when it comes to because you're a dominatrix, that also part of education, what people don't take into account with this lifestyle is you can fuck someone up mentally.
Hmm.
So part of that responsibility of being a dominatrix is you are guiding somebody, and you also they want to be mind fucked, but yeah, you can fuck someone up mentally.
Oh
So
yeah.
how important is when it comes to people that want to get to this lifestyle, whether it's on either side, get education about it, not just D, DIY.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. It's very important to try to get the education that you can, but like sometimes people just don't know where to find that. They don't know where to go. There's websites like fetlife.com. You can find a lot of like local events and a lot of classes and resources and things like that. But if you don't know about that, you're not going to know like where to find people in general. So it's hard. And like, I can't give people too much shade for not having an education with kink or with sex before jumping into it because it is a very natural thing. So you're just going to be like, I want to do this fun thing that feels good. But you'll find that it is so much better when you do get educated, when you know the proper way to do things, proper way to even just treat your partner and how to negotiate a scene, how to understand and respect boundaries, like things like that, more than just like the technical aspects of each kink or, adventure. It's very important to understand the ethics of it and the right ways, basically, yeah, to treat your partner. So it's super important. We don't all have the luxury of having the resources around us or knowing where to find them, but when you do find them, definitely pursue them and get as deep as you can into that knowledge.
So, and also, like you said, you've been really also throwing, events
Hmm.
and parties. And we talked about that, before. And with you, you said you were laid about building a community, you
Yes.
know, and people, okay, I'm just gonna say it, she actually built the community. People, she's the mayor of the town. They just so it for you, it's like, was that something that was the original plan for a lot of stuff that you do? To find people like you and bring them around you.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, as a professional dominatrix, the fetish community, the kink community does not usually love me. I mean, they do love me now because I've been good, but a lot of times it can be hard, as a professional to get into the community. And
Mm-hmm.
I started as a professional. My education was from mentors, but I wasn't really in like the kink community.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I
Oh,
did.
wait 1 second. Why was it? Why would it be hard for a pro to get into the community? Because what does it matter if you a pro dom?
I mean, I personally don't think it matters because I think that professionals are a very important part of the whole community, of the whole ecosystem of kink because, we do all this education and we do provide a lot of stuff as far as like knowledge and safety and a space to do things. And that was always my thing is when I decided to get into the community, I'm not a super social person or wasn't. I am now. But when I decided to get into the community, I started going to events called munches
Mm-hmm.
where people just get together and like it's usually at a public place. It's all innocent. There's no play. You meet people, have drinks and food, and it's just like a safe place to meet kinky people who have the same interests. I tried to go to some of those, and because I was very young, I mean, I was like 20 at this time, and I was calling myself a professional, which like nobody likes a young professional when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that was rough. And, people in the community do think sometimes that professionals are taking advantage. There is some jealousy. You know, I would always get the comment from random guys of like, "Oh, yeah, I bet girls wouldn't pay me to do this stuff," and I'm like, "You don't know that. You should try." But yeah, there's always some weird jealousy or just, you know, anyone that's doing something that they love for a living is gonna upset people. Um, but and there are people who do come into the community just to make money and they have no interest in the actual like active creating more
That's not a
community.
bad thing because okay, there's no different than some people that just come into porn just to make money. They
Yeah,
don't necessarily love it. We don't hate. We don't shun their asses. We actually give them a
no.
hug.
It is different with pro doms because what we're doing requires care and consideration. And not that it like in porn, yeah, you got to be considerate and stuff like that. Can you get by without being considerate and still make an amazing porn? Hell yes. Yes, you can. We've met some people that prove that. My
Yeah.
cat's trying to join me. But yeah, as a pro dom, because of the safety issues of it, and the community takes that so seriously of like, yes, I could mess someone's brain up pretty bad. I could create some real problems and real trauma. They're very guarded with that stuff. This is
Oh,
Rocky.
I'm a
He's my
cat
new
dad,
baby. He's a good boy. So yeah, they're very guarded and very protective. And that can come off as pretty snobby sometimes. Once they got to know me and saw that I was like a safe person and I'm actually really nice. Like I know I can like seem intimidating. I'm just a pink goober. Like I'm actually a really nice person. And so once they saw that, they were like, "Oh, okay, she's fine." But I still do see people, and I'm trying to like break that in the community. He's so helpful. I see
No,
when
I want to tell you what's
people.
funny, right? They always love to walk on the computer. It's like it never fails because even my cat, I'll be sitting right here and she'll just pop her little happy ass right on top of the table, right, run across in front of the computer and then want to sit there and nudge and shit.
But God forbid you try to take a picture of them.
Oh yeah, they'll run.
It's at least this one's really cool. My previous cat, I have another cat. He's not a camera cat.
Yeah.
My previous cat would get on webcam every time I went on webcam.
Mm-hmm.
So I mostly did them at my dungeon, but if I did anything here, she would do that, and then I try to take a picture of her, and she just looks so mad. So
Yeah. No, the funny
he's a
part,
camera.
do you have fans to be like, where the cat at?
What's that?
You have fans to be like, where the cat at?
Yeah. Yep. I used to do when I was on OnlyFans. I used to do casual coffee. It was a Sunday show, and I would just get on in a semi-sexy outfit and sip coffee, and my cats would jump on. I didn't do anything naughty because can't do that in front of the cats. But they would, yeah. People would be like, "Where are they? Where's Harry's? Where's Dirtbike?" They're very fond of them, so it
Oh
was
my
fun.
god.
I like doing that stuff.
But see, to me, it's like it's crazy because it's y'all be surprised how many times animals just get involved in the camera. It just be funny. Like even when I used to have my shit set up by by my couch, my dogs would be just like right here.
It's
When I
always
had
the
two
butt.
over here.
All right, buddy.
Oh my god. See, we love animals. We love
Oh,
animals too. We
I've
love
got cat trees on both sides of my camera right now, and he
yeah.
chose to stand on my desk instead. So
They were like, no, they want to be seen. Like, hey,
he's like, "Who are we
no,
talking
I
to?"
want to tell you what's funny. It might be they sense cat in. I'm a true believer in energy, right? And see, I have a cat here, so it might have been they might have sensed cat energy and been like, want to be like,
He should put the
hey,
cat on the phone.
I mean, you got a female cat. I can smell it through the computer.
Yeah, he would. He's a lover boy. He's like, "Put her on."
Oh, so now when it comes to couples,
Mhm.
what do couples come to you for?
A lot of times, I think this is beautiful. So I met a couple recently who wants the husband is very very submissive. The wife is not kinky at all, but she wants to learn. She has no idea where to start. And so it was actually his idea to bring her to me and have me teach her how to do some dominant stuff on him.
Mm,
And so when that happens, I'm usually a little bit like nervous, like does she actually want to learn these things? Is she here because she wants to do it? And this woman, 100%. She wanted to be there. She wanted to do it. We had a session together. I separated them in the beginning so I could talk separately and be like, "You really want to be here, right?"
Mm,
And she was just like, she was so excited. She was so ready to do it. She just needed like a little bit of help,
mm,
and she did fantastic. Like she was phenomenal. She unlocked her little inner dom self, and she learned what kinks like work for her. They
mm,
were not what she expected them to be or what he expected them to be, but
mm.
we found it, and that was really cool.
So now the question that I think I've never asked anybody, and see,
Ooh.
this lovely dandy of a lady, I think would be perfect to answer this question because she's an educator. So when you're going as a dom, when you go through the training, the metamorphosis of becoming a dom, whether it's male or female, how do you figure out what type of dom you're going to be? Because yes, there are the different spectrum of dom and dominatrix. Let's make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So how do one figure out where they fit on that spectrum?
Honestly, for me, it was a lot of trial and error. I did find out that I'm into so many different forms of domination, and it really depends on who I'm with.
Mm,
But I would say, if someone's trying to unlock their inner dom and they've got a
mm,
partner, they need to focus on what that partner brings out in them as well. They need to figure out what turns them on, where
mm,
they feel the most confident. And I think the best way to do that is just try different things. Get a little silly, like watch some porn. Definitely watch porn. That helps a lot.
mm,
Imitate things until something feels good.
mm,
Think about what you want as well. Like it is very much
mm,
about your partner, obviously. When you're dominating someone, you have to be taking care of them essentially. But you
mm,
need to think about what makes you feel good as well,
mm,
because that's a huge part of it. So just try different things,
mm,
explore different avenues, different methods, different personas, even. Some people might be very uncomfortable with sensual domination, but really love
mm,
harsh, cold corporate domination. Sometimes it's the opposite.
mm,
So just trying a little bit of everything and pushing yourself a little bit, but respecting your own boundaries. I
mm.
think that's very important.
Now, where do people lose patience when it comes to the metamorphosis?
Where do they lose patience?
Yeah.
When they get embarrassed.
Mm,
That is usually where it happens. Um, like things like role play are hilarious and they're silly and they're stupid, and you just gotta like be okay laughing about it with your partner. Um, and like I said, you gotta just try different personas, even if it means like mimicking another persona you saw in porn.
mm,
And so people will try something and maybe they get self conscious because their partner laughed a little bit too much or just didn't feel real. And it's okay to say, okay, that wasn't the right one.
mm,
It's also okay to try it again and be like, maybe if I put my whole pussy into it, it'll work this time.
mm,
And you just gotta keep trying because yeah, that's when people give up, when they're like, nope, I'm never gonna be good at this. This is embarrassing. This feels wrong and weird.
mm.
Um, don't get embarrassed. It is silly. It is stupid. But once you find where you feel confident, then it's gonna feel really good.
Yeah. It's an interesting word that she said. Cause we about to unpack this.
Uh
Yeah.
oh.
It's she's see, cause that's why I like doing these shows. And I don't like having nothing scripted or anything because I like to be organic. I don't want y'all to see that this is real time reaction, conversation, what have you, right?
Oh, these are real rants over here.
Oh yeah. See,
ADHD. It's real.
now I think what has been lost when it comes to the porn and what is very important to porn, to sex work, across the board, even the BDSM, is persona.
Mm.
Because I remember, for example, Sarah J was known as the interracial queen. Why? Because she was one of the few ladies that was doing interracial a lot. Pinky, we know what she was known for. Cherry, we know she was known for. Jenna James, we know she was known for. It was they had personas. They had bigger than life, larger than that personalities on that camera. So how much and how important is it? Because we got the ladies over here that's sitting here talking about the 43 million, right? We got these people talking about how much they make here, this, that, and the third. How much does for you to have long-term success in this business, you have to build a persona? is important to it?
So in a way, I mean, when you like say that you just started, you're going to go through some different personas, and that's okay. Like, I mean, we all go through different phases and things,
Mm,
but as far as like having a consistent persona, once you do find it, you lock in and that's what you present to the world. It is kind of a matter of loyalty to stick to that, which
mm,
sounds like a lot of pressure. And it kind of is. But once you put out the kind of work that you do and who you are, you're going to find people who are really, really into that. And so they're going to be following along for that. And yeah, they'll be there for the ups and downs for the most part. The people are like really into you, for who they think you are. They're going to
yeah.
follow along. And, but yeah, if you stray too far, people do get comfortable with you. And if you change suddenly, they're
Mm,
going to get uncomfortable. They're going to lose that kind of safety. So I think it's just like with any business. Like if McDonald's all of a sudden was just like, we only serve tacos, you'd be like, oh, that's not what I'm here for. you know, they might lose some customers. They would get new
yeah.
customers, but they're going to lose who they've had.
Mm,
Um, and so it's important to be consistent and be reliable as far
mm,
as like what you're offering, to keep offering it, especially when we're working with so many subscription sites where people just want to keep getting the same stuff, or at least the same person.
mm,
They like variety, but they want that same person that they fell in love with. So
mm.
it's important.
Yeah, because but see, now I'm asking you this: is persona more important in the BDSM lifestyle more so than the porn?
I think it depends on what part of BDSM you're in. I mean, as far as like, since
Let's
I'm,
talk dominatrix because
yeah,
we doms here. You
yeah.
see, we alpha energy here. Let's talk alpha energy.
Oh, that's the thing is I've gone through these different ups and downs of, not ups and downs, but swerving in my career of like,
Mm,
oh, now I'm gonna do porn, like where I'm getting fucked rather than just doing the pegging. And
mm,
I've had people that were like, I think I mentioned this to you. I was doing a session with someone and I mentioned that I am a switch, which I am in my
yeah,
personal life. I haven't switched on film. That's not, I don't want to. I like what I do. Um, but yeah, I have this like very small 1% of me that switches once in a while.
mm.
And I mentioned that to my client because I was trying to relate to him on some things. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw you being submissive on camera." And I was like, "When? Like, who recorded that?" And what he was referring to was just me having sex.
Mm,
I was not being submissive. I was just getting fucked.
mm,
But to some people that is submissive.
mm,
Depending on also who you're with. And
mm,
I was with Will Tile, who's a very like dominant, awesome
mm,
guy with a massive penis.
mm,
And so like they definitely saw that as me switching, me being subby. I was
mm,
like, that's really interesting. And I think that because I only did like a taste of it, I did swerve into like
mm,
sex porn for a while and I fucking loved it. It was so fun.
mm,
But because I didn't make that my whole entire personality and switch
mm,
completely to that, I still have all the people that I've always had. Like,
mm,
and I think it was a fun new flavor.
mm.
But yeah, if I were to change and suddenly all of a sudden I am submissive, I would definitely lose a lot of the people that have been with me for a long time.
Now, some girls they separated, meaning that they got one site where you see the hardcore sex, and you got the site with the uh what I'm saying, the dominatrix stuff.
Yeah.
Why did you not go that route?
I just never, I mean, the like sex porn, it sounds weird calling it that, but it felt really empowering to me. And I know, I'm like I'm such a weenie, like sex porn. But when I finally decided to do it, I was facing all of those like ideas of all my subs are going to think I'm this and they're going to not want me anymore because now I'm attainable because somebody fucked me online.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you know what? Fuck that. This is my page. I'm not afraid of this shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I am who I am and I love it.
I mean, you as
Um,
a woman, you're gonna get some dick at some point. It's,
yeah.
I mean,
If I'm
come
doing
on,
things the
sir.
right
Hey,
way,
look, bitch,
yes.
boys.
Yeah.
She do like dick,
I do like
which
dick.
means that she will get fucked at some point. Doggy style ride, she's gonna suck a dick. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
still will have the grab at her feet.
Yeah, and I've like honestly, it also kind of rolled into like my cuckolding fetishes.
Yeah.
So I very much enjoy cuckolding, and I did a lot of that with Will Tile, and I did that with a couple other guys.
Mm,
But I absolutely love that. So I think it was fun because I didn't feel like You know, I don't care how much of me is online. That doesn't make me attainable. But it definitely puts it out there that like the right kind of guy can fuck the shit out of me. So it's fun.
So, so it's like put it this way: is it? I'm gonna ask this then. Oh, we right. Oh, I about to have fun with this. Yeah, it just popped in my head. All right.
Bring it on.
What sex scenarios
Mm.
that dominatrix can do? I'm talking about the hardcore porn, boy, girl, the wheel tie, all that shit. That subs might misinterpret as you being submissive.
Well, apparently, me just having being fucked by Will Tile in general, there was definitely some interesting commentary on interracial stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
There was this idea that like if I'm getting fucked by a black guy, I'm being submissive to him. And I thought that was pretty interesting because nobody said that about when I did stuff with white guys. And so I didn't know, I didn't really know how to
Wow.
process that. Yeah. And I was like, I think that says a lot about like the guys that I was talking to, and there's mostly my clients because
Mm-hmm.
that's mostly the guys I talk to. So I didn't really know what to do with that information or how to process that. It didn't change the way that I was doing things or like who I chose to shoot with.
Mm-hmm.
I just shot with people that I found hot. So it was like, if I'm fucking someone, they're hot. But I didn't feel submissive with anybody that I had shot with. And I think like even you know off camera there was a lot of really good fun banter where like they would throw something at me and I'd throw it right back because like that's who I am. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that there was anything that I really did that would be obviously taken for submission,
Mm-hmm.
but it did surprise me that like that's what they thought.
Well, damn, she gave us some more to unpack because
That's a lot to
do, do,
unpack.
do we want to go that deep tonight?
No, 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 we do
Because
not.
no, because I find it crazy as fuck that because you got fucked by a black dude. Oh, you're submissive. Wait a second. Wait, what?
And I think like if this is all, I think that this is like some internalized stuff. I think this is some projection because these guys, now these are mostly like New Hampshire men I'm talking
Mhm,
to. They're like Puritan little pilgrim boys. So they definitely maybe perhaps see
mhm,
black guys as dominant to them.
mhm.
So they're projecting that that's what I'm going through and I'm just like I didn't feel submissive to anybody.
Well, I mean, but let's keep it 100. When it comes to interracial porn, a lot of it is the white girl submissive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the allure of it. Period. I mean, let's keep it 100. So
Yeah.
I can see how they could look at that as that, period. Um,
And I had offers for stuff that was like that was very like racially charged. You know, this guy's gonna be like fucking the shit out of you,
mm.
like putting you in your place kind of thing. And I was like, that doesn't sound fun for me. So I don't know.
so, so what sexual positions is submissive sexual positions?
I mean, choking's a huge thing right now. So any position where someone's getting choked, I feel like makes you look a little subby. But it's hard to say. I would say typically you would think that like doggy style would be a subby position.
Mhm,
But that's like my favorite for cuckolding because I can look right at the camera and talk
mhm.
shit.
I
So
mean, but that's cuckolding, so it's kind of like it. You can get it. To me, it's like this: you can get away with the submissive because technically, the woman. To me, cucking is a switch. Is a switch. Is a continuous switch
mm,
situation to me, to a certain extent, because the cuck is the ultimate submissive, right?
right.
But the woman is a submissive and a switch at the same time, dominant at the same time, because she's a submissive to the bull, but a dominant to the cuck.
It can be that way, but what if she's commanding both of them? Like
That
if
could
I'm
be, yeah,
calling the
yeah, oh yeah, that
shots.
could happen, yeah. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
that's typically how it has been. I mean, there's been times where like if someone was getting a little bit like rough, which I fucking love, I
Mm.
would be like harder. Like there was never a time where I was just like, "Oh, I'm like, I'm so submissive to this man. I would say something like, oh, he's destroying me and I fucking love
Mm-hmm.
it. Like, I think that's as far as it goes. But that's slutty. That's not really submissive.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that that's where there is that weird the misconception of like the person that is receiving the dick is the submissive. And I've never felt that, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Yeah,
whatever, like,
I find that interesting because it's to the point where, like, a woman can be completely dominant during the whole sex act. Like, she can
yeah,
be telling you when to switch positions.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So it's to me, it's like I think subs have a picture in their head of what a dom supposed to be when it comes to sex.
right,
And it may not jive with reality because it's not because either be a dominant, you had to be a submissive at some point.
yeah. Honestly, the big thing is that they want us to be untouchable. They don't
Mm,
want, like, submissives want us to be someone that is above everyone else touching them, like we're royalty. Um, I'm more driven by my own pleasure, and I try to kind of drive that into my submissive's head and heads. And if anyone wants to serve me, they need to understand that pleasure is very big for me.
mm,
Being like, some doms do want to be untouchable and they want to have that like really regal situation. And though there is princess in my name, I don't take that seriously in any way. And I want to have my fun, and I love telling my subs about the crazy fun I've had or making them watch. That's fun to me. I love that. So yeah, being untouchable or being above arousal or above like any kind of animalistic sexual experiences, I'm just like, that sounds not fun.
I I would die laughing because it was like this one female, dominatrix. She had a video up, and I was like, I just kept watching because I'm just a dom at heart. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
And she was giving the dude head, and you see the sub with the mask down between the legs. You were like, okay, what you doing? He pulled back. Oh, he looking up shit. That's it.
Oh, what a good sport.
No, because see, it's to me that to me, I think it's the image that she may portray when she's having the sex. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like I said, when they have the image in their head, it's not it's the image is not a view of a sexual nature. So people
Mm-hmm.
understand it. They don't look at her, they're not looking at her tits and her ass. No, it's more of a goddess like worship look. Like Anunnaki type shit. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. Honestly, like if I'm doing like cuckolding scenes, people are paying more attention to the things I'm saying,
Mhm,
and they're gonna be paying attention to the guy's dick typically because they also
mhm.
have that fantasy of like cleanup service and
Yeah.
fluffing service and stuff. And so it's like, yeah, my body is a big important part of it.
Mhm.
Um, and I want them to like look at my butt, but it is really about my personality and what they are going through, what the experience would feel like to them.
Oh, and by the way, she has a nice ass.
Thank you.
Don't let it fool you. She got a nice one. Oh
Watch
my
that.
god. So now you were saying that you're now starting to do more fetish kink, not so much boy girl stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind of fell out of that. It doesn't interest me so much anymore.
well, I mean, it's why is that?
You know, I really like having sex. And I love having sex, and I don't love having to think about it so much. I don't love having to orchestrate things or make sure I'm looking at the camera. I want to get really into it and just be stupid and ugly and have the best orgasms ever and say the weird shit that gets me off.
Mm,
I don't want to have to think about it. With with domination, with kink, it just happens to be that like all the stuff I'm doing just works on camera, and the things that I say sound pornographic on their own. I don't have to think about what I'm going to say. I'm saying all that kinky shit that just comes to my mind.
mm,
With sex, it was just like, I loved doing it. That was my favorite part. It was just filming and having
mm.
hot sex. Then afterwards, I go to like edit it, and I'm like, well, this isn't as exciting as the kinky stuff. you know? I think it's also because I don't watch vanilla porn myself. I watch fetish porn.
Mm,
So, yeah, just going to edit it, I was like, it looks good. We did a great job. I remember how good that feels.
mm,
But yeah, it just didn't excite me so much in the aftermath. Like,
mm.
I don't know. And I had a great time, but yeah.
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from because, I mean, part of the reason why, and I'm just being honest, and I think I can be honest to the smokers, to everybody, Part of the reason why I ain't came out of retirement because I'm tired of fucking on camera. I want some off camera pussy.
It's
Hey,
different.
hey, I'm sorry. Hit different, hit different, hit
It's different.
different, hit different.
What's crazy too is like, yes, 100% we were having like, I'm sure you can vouch for this too. Like, I was having great real sex on camera,
Yeah.
but I was thinking too much. And like, like I said, the experiences were really great. I had a wonderful time. But yeah, I don't know.
You
I was
couldn't
thinking,
enjoy the
yeah,
dick. Yeah,
I couldn't relax my body because I had to pose.
yeah.
I had to make sure the camera could see everything. And it's like in real sex, you're just like you're mashing into this person, and it's
Yeah.
not pretty.
And,
So
and and plus also you also thinking about the mental clock.
mhm.
See, people don't understand that when you film, if you're a talent, you have a mental clock.
Oh yeah,
It's
we have
it,
certain things
it
we have to achieve.
yeah, period. And trust me, it 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 actually sometimes go over in your real life. So you got to kind of
Mhm.
break yourself out of that when you have sex. I just want to know if I'm just the only one that sometimes like if I'm really I'm fucking in real life that I find myself like why I'm acting like I'm fucking on camera.
Same thing for me. Yep. I definitely would find so I would go, I'd go to like Exotica or something
Yeah.
and film several scenes over the weekend or over the week, however long I was there. And then I come home and I try to have like normal sex and I'm doing the leg pop thing. I'm like doing like a handstand trying to like, I'm like, where's the camera? Why am I doing this? Like I'm stuck in these like porn positions that I hate.
I mean, even the way I get hair, I find myself just moving her hair out of her side of her face.
Right. You're leaning your head to the side.
I'm
You're like
like, why the
going sideways.
it's just muscle memory. People don't realize that it's because you do it so much, you're used to it, and it's kind of like that's why I rather if it like this. If I'm gonna get some porn pussy, it's gonna be off camera. I'm just saying that.
Fair.
Now, if she want to film it, I'm just gonna say, look, you can just pop the camera over there. I don't give a fuck, but don't expect me to be doing. I'm not. No, I'm good with doggy and maybe a little missionary. If you want to get on top, hey, just know you gonna get your pussy ate and your ass ate out. Cause that's
Which is
just me.
entirely different off camera.
Oh
We can
yeah.
admit that.
Oh
Eating
yeah.
pussy
No.
on camera. Okay, I love eating pussy, and I hated how I had to be like sideways with my hair pulled back. Like you got to make it look like you can
Yeah,
see
I want to
the.
get in there.
I want to be gone. I want to be like drowning in the pussy, in the
I'm
butt. I want to
saying.
be gone. I want them to
I'm
forget I ever
saying.
had a face.
Oh my God. It just I'm saying that's all I mean it just looks sex can be just straight with just missionary and doggy with some head and some pussy. I'm just saying. I don't need it. I mean, if she want to ride, I ain't mad at her, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't got to.
Yup. And honestly, it's weird too if you hook up with someone who has seen your porn and they expect those kind of moves out of you.
Yeah.
That's when it's really weird too.
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean women get that more than men do.
I would say
They're
so.
you know what I'm saying? Now the most that we might get is she might ask, do I suck dick like they do? Or do I fuck like they do? But
Don't ever ask that question. Don't hurt your own feelings.
no, I ain't gonna front. I met a couple that I've been like, something. They could have been winners in the game.
I've definitely had some guys who like tried harder because they knew that I'd had porn dick,
Mhm.
which was that worked out for me.
Mm.
I'm okay with that. But But they don't have to be doing all that. I don't need the acrobatics. I don't need them to be standing on their head behind me to get this weird, like, reverse upside down doggy style. Like, we don't need that.
But see, they automatically assume that because we do this, that's what we want in our personal sex life. Like,
Right.
cause some females now, I ain't gonna lie, you can't if you get roughed up in the scene, she may not want to be roughed up personally. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I've had some really good I mean, now like all the BDSM and all the fetish stuff that I shoot is very, very real. But I have shot with like some companies, and I won't say who, but the submissive men that they provided to me were just performers, and that was okay. They did a great job. But, they wouldn't want me to talk to them the way that I talk to them on camera in real
Mm-hmm.
life. I'm calling them like small dick losers, and in real life they would be like, "All right, that's a lot, that much." But
Hey,
that's like the role that they choose. So yeah, it can be different.
damn. So they humiliated for pay.
Yeah, and there's guys that will be pegged for pay that aren't super into it. People will.
Well, hold on. I don't know why I'm actually surprised because they got gay for pay. So how far
Exactly.
fetched is this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and girls do it too. There's a lot of, unfortunately, girls that will just be like, "I'll do the lesbian porn because I got to do it."
Mm-hmm.
And so that was something that kind of, I didn't experience that much. I was lucky that I teamed up with a lot of great people that were very much like into what they were doing. But that made me nervous as every time before a shoot, do I have to wonder if they actually want to do this stuff with me?
But,
Um,
but but I'm gonna ask you this: have you ever? Okay, I know you didn't watch some of those scenes back.
mm,
How did it compare to the ones that they? This is what they do. Because you see a difference.
yeah, there's absolutely a difference. I mean, you can kind of tell when someone's phoning it in. For the most part, most people can tell if someone isn't really into what they're doing, but they're like just saying their lines.
Mm,
I mean, especially with BDSM, you see people go into these completely different headspaces. They forget the camera's there. They
mm.
just want to be a good boy or girl, and they want to do as they're told, and they're feeling amazing. Subspace is real, and people go there, and that's beautiful to see.
I'm just look. I was laughing because I'm just sitting here imagining too, like, yeah, just put it in. Oh,
I'm on the
oh
clock, baby.
yes, fuck my ass with that big cock. Yes.
It's too real, man. It's too real. That's
Okay.
like that was the weird stuff. I don't like, and I don't mean to ever sound like I'm insulting porn because I've had a great time with it, but I
Yeah.
hate when you have to wonder if they're actually into it.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
But see, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. Those type the fake. Okay, the guys that pay for pay. I am sorry. No, at some point it started to get good to them because it our shit back there. Come on,
Mm.
there how we come.
But something can feel really good, but not feel good. Like something
Yeah,
can feel
yeah, yeah,
physically
yeah,
good,
yeah,
but mentally it's not good for you because you're doing
yeah.
things you don't really want to
But see,
do.
that what I'm saying. It's kind of like that. Okay, a woman can phone it in. A dude, there ain't much phoning in we can do.
There's
We
some
can't fake a
mechanical
nut.
obvious, yeah.
It's too it's no, because I mean it's 'cause even when I've seen girls that they not into women that
Mm.
actually. I remember Jada Fire. She said she wasn't into women,
Mm.
but you couldn't tell from the scenes that she did. Because I mean, she did female pegging, she ate pussy, all that shit. God
Yeah.
pussy. But I have seen the scene where you could tell one wasn't into women.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was terrible.
It's so weird to watch. It really is. That's another thing with like vanilla porn is you can really tell when someone's not into it. But yeah, I mean, I've like everyone that I worked with, to the most of my knowledge, was into girls and they were into what we were doing and we had a good time and we are both, very considerate and stuff. But yeah, there was one person, and I will not say who, but after a scene she started saying some really homophobic stuff and I was like, "We just scissored. How are you being homophobic?" Like, what is going on here? I think she genuinely enjoyed herself, but the idea of enjoying herself was like weird to her.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's just weird. And finding that out after the scene, I was like, ugh, I did not shoot with her again.
Now, I'm gonna ask you this because I've been talking to all the ladies about this, and it's important. I feel it's very important because we all know about the girl that did the 100 guys.
Yeah, I just heard about that.
Yes, yes. We know a lot of girls that did the 100 guys, but ain't about that. And did you see the video of her reaction? I guess the afterwards.
I didn't, but I did read a little bit of an article
Mm-hmm.
that she said that she dissociated for a lot of it and doesn't remember some of them, and that also she felt bad. And this kind of broke my heart that she felt bad that some of the guys didn't get the experience that they wanted because she had to go so fast. And I was like, bless your heart for caring about these guys that get to fuck you. You're a goddess, you know. Bless your heart for this. But yeah, that just I felt so bad that she felt bad
Mm-hmm.
after she did all that hard work. That's impressive.
But see, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. It's like 'cause you already know how media ran with it. Social media ran with
Of course.
it, and I want you to explain to people because this plays not only into the porn world, but it plays to the BDSM world. Subspace and the come down.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they don't understand is that whole reaction she had wasn't of shame.
Mm-hmm.
She was coming down from a subspace moment. Because remember, she said she dissociated. And why do people automatically assume disassociation to be a negative thing? And why is there a negative connotation assigned to it?
I mean, people typically associate that with trauma. They associate it with like going through something that you're trying to leave your body for, and that's not what it's all about. I mean, yeah, you might go into it could be a subspace, it could just be a different headspace. You can drift into a different place. You can be just thinking about getting the job done, and you can still enjoy yourself. But if you're having all this big chemical dump in your head, you're definitely going to have a drop at the end of it. You're going to come down really, really hard, and you're going to start questioning things. You're going to wonder things. You're going to be in a very vulnerable space, and sometimes, things like feeling bad about the guys that didn't have the best time,
Mm-hmm.
like that is a big part of it because you're going to be very self conscious. If you've gone through subspace or if you've gone through dissociation that lasts for that long, like you're going to feel cracked open at the end. And so the emotions that come out might not be what you expect. But it doesn't always mean that there's trauma involved.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always mean like people dissociate all the time just doing computer work, Like they're locked in.
You disassociate your job.
Yeah. I'm like I could just be sitting here and just be like, "Oh, I'm supposed to do something." Or like I do
No,
it driving all the time. It's
no,
ADHD.
but no. Okay, then, because for example, right? Because everybody used to hear the little story about Beyonce and Sasha.
Mhm.
Because they say they say when she go on stage, she say she goes into this subspace and she called it Sasha, what have you. And they talk about demons and all that shit. You know how y'all
Yeah.
people love doing with the tin hat. We love y'all for that though. It's great father. Um, me being a guy that has been on stage, disassociation. How I know it's disassociation because at one point I didn't even see the crowd.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Why is it disassociation report so negative, but it's cool everywhere else?
Right. And it's frustrating and I'm when I'm doing my scenes, I forget about everything else in life. I'm just focused on one thing and that can be a level of dissociation where like nothing that I would normally care about is present in my head. All I care about is my sub and doing what I'm doing. But yeah, I think that also like taking on a different persona
Mhm.
to get a job done or to be what you need to be to do what you're doing is different. It's not negative. And so that for her could have been that's where her brain needed to go to get it done. That is a lot of dick. That's a lot of action. That's a lot of physical, like emotional, all that energy. That is so much. There's nothing wrong with like going into a different mode, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it was like it. 'Cause even when I sat there, I watched it. I already said, "Damn, I hate the documentary," because of course the documentary wanted to get the shock value, and that's what I
Right.
hate about this era because it's about the shock value.
Well, she's either
I
going to
already
be a
knew what the
victim or a
red.
villain here.
Yeah, I already knew what it is. Now, don't get it twisted. Did she cry to the bank? You goddamn right, cuz she didn't cry to Rafe, and she dashed didn't cry to Bentley. She right there crying in a motherfucking private jet, ladies and gentlemen, because y'all
Uh,
all went there go look at that shit.
I honestly, when someone told me like first person that told me about it, they're like, "Oh, you got to check this out. This is so crazy that she did this. I can't imagine." And I was like, "Oh, the money though." Like, bravo to her for having a crazy work day and making bank. That's amazing. That's
No, no,
incredible.
no. Here's the funny part. Nobody want to talk about this. It wasn't for no company.
Hmm.
It was for her OnlyFans. So
Yeah.
let's think about this for a second. Do you know how hard it is, people, to put together a orgy? We talking about the gangbang.
You know how hard it is to put together a board game night?
I'm
It's impossible.
saying, I am from club parties, people. You know how hard it is to get people in there to see. She had to get 100 dudes to show up to fuck her. Now, mind you, she had fluffers.
Mhm.
Don't get it twisted. It but and the organization that she had to go through to even. Oh, if I'm correct, they probably always tested.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Okay, people, I want y'all to smoke this over for a minute. You know how hard it is to get 100 motherfuckers to be tested and get into one piece of pussy in maybe about 4 miles? Cause tell me, there
Everything
was some
she did.
fluffing going on.
I'm just so impressed by everything she did. I'm so impressed that her body went through that. Like that, just the physical act. Like that is a workout. First of all, one scene, one fuck is a workout for a lot of people. To do all of that, like incredible. She's superhuman. To orchestrate that, to organize that, to make sure that she's got all this stuff filmed and she's got everything documented. Incredible. To broadcast things, to advertise for herself, to have that following where doing that wouldn't be wasted, because there's plenty of people who are like, oh, I'm gonna set up, a huge gangbang, and it's like, for what? She wanted to do it. She said it was her fantasy. She was really into it, and she monetized it. Incredible, incredible.
And here's the key of it. She wanted to do this. That's why I'm like, it's like I said, it to me, it's oh, by the way, the world record for a man fucking a whole bunch of women in 24 hours is 79. But they won't making videos about that shit. Oh, and and he's Asian descent. He's from Asia somewhere.
I would watch that.
I'm sorry, that is harder. 79 versus her 100 because he has to nut 79
He has to nut that many times.
for it to work.
I feel like,
It's it because okay. The reason why I say that when it comes to that world record, they say the world record. It's the dudes had to come. I guess they got a certain amount
oh,
of. You know what I'm saying? They will pop out. I guess or penetrate because he gonna go till he nut. So let's keep it 100. You
that's
feel me?
crazy. Okay,
So
so I didn't know that you have to do that. Like for me, I feel like as long as you're thrusting a few times, that counts as fucking. Otherwise, you're just soaking, right?
well,
But
I mean, I have to look it up. I really ain't looked it up. I mean, I ain't want to go through the research of the shit.
I,
I
I don't
go
want
off
to look.
what I'm told on that.
The FBI's like, why is she googling this again?
What the hell? He's such a freak.
And then I feel like after maybe 10 orgasms, there's no way there's any cum left in there.
Is I mean, but even to the point that, like I said before, it's like to come down off of that.
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me of that. It was like it just to me they caught it on camera, and that what documentary supposed to be. Period. Which I think she paid for the documentary. So people, I mean, y'all really helped her make a lot of money. I hope y'all realize.
I know. It's the bad publicity, quote unquote, is still leading people to her OnlyFans. So she's fucking smart. She's
Oh
brilliant.
yeah, even the girl with the third leg.
Mhm.
Shit, I follow her on Twitter. Yeah, she's still popping.
Yep. I think it's super impressive, and I think it's kind of annoying how, like, if you think about like some hard jobs. Like I feel like a line cook is a very, very stressful, emotionally crazy job. At the end of the day, you're probably gonna cry if you have to work like an 18-hour shift because you
Yeah.
have to fill in for someone. You're gonna cry at the end of the day. You're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate the people you work with. Like maybe you made some good money, but
Mm,
like that's something that we don't care about as a society. We're just
mm,
like, well, yeah, that's how it goes. It's a rough day. That's work. But if someone does a rough day of sex, then they're like, oh, this person's exploited, or they're like killing themselves. It's like,
you
first
a
of all,
whore.
yeah, they made a lot more money. They're probably crying about the same as much as
Mm.
a line cook or so.
But see, this is what people take into account. A lot of like I've talked to some females that they came out of long relationships. They never really did a lot. So they're discovering their sexuality through the porn industry or what have you,
Mhm.
period. So it to me, this business allows one to do so. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you skinny it, you know, and it gives them the freedom to do so. And I think that's the one thing that people really don't understand. And I truly believe that some of these conservatives really don't like is they don't give it. I'm just gonna be frank. They don't give a shit about a man being so open. Just even if he gay, but they do not want a woman to be sexually open.
They don't want us to be
Sex,
empowered.
yeah.
And that's where the projection comes. Like this kind of goes back full circle is like guys really struggle to see me getting fucked
Mm-hmm.
without being like, oh, she's getting like she's in a submissive space because that's what they see it as. It can't be empowering. It can't possibly be empowering for me to be getting the dick and the pleasure that I want. And that's what's kind of fucked up about things. They
Yeah,
can't, like, a lot of people cannot fathom that this is empowering.
yeah.
I don't
Because
know.
the simple fact of it is that what makes it empowering is that she is okay with who she is as a woman
Mm-hmm.
sexually.
Shamelessly.
No matter what her the pronoun may be or what have you, whether she has a pussy or she has a bussy with a big click. You feel what I'm saying?
We
I'm
love them
just
both.
saying, long as that's what I mean. It's being happy with you're happy who you are, knowing yourself sexually.
Yeah,
Period. Because it's like they can't handle a female that will do a 5-man gangbang and smile about it.
right.
Period. Or even to the fact of dominatrix.
Yeah.
Period. It's because even to the point when you think about it, um, like what's the one image that you always see of a dominatrix?
Just always a woman with a whip. It's always leather and whips. That's all and I rarely use a whip. I will say that. I don't know.
And it's kind of like it's why is that the association? Because
It's the most extreme, harshest thing that people can think of to associate with it. Like all the DOMs I know are very, very caring, and we're all
mm,
about kind of giving this like a little bit of therapy. It's not real therapy, it's not a stand-in. You should still have a therapist, but we do give a lot of therapy
mm,
to our clients and to our submissives. We care about them, we care about their growth and them working through life, working through trauma. Like I've helped people quit smoking, quit drinking. I've helped people find a therapist, and like there's so much more to it than pain. But for some reason it's always like associated with pain.
mm. Yeah, because to me, I think people right is a release.
Mm.
These submissives, this is a release for them. It's why do people think a submissive is less of a man?
That I think also falls into the same category of them not fathoming that somebody can be empowered by having things done to them, by being sexually open. People don't realize that being pegged can be empowering for you. Embracing what actually feels good for you, doing things that are good for yourself, it's a form of self care, and that is empowering. And people just like cannot accept that. Like, I don't see myself as above my submissives. I see myself as equal to my submissives, and I love them, and what I do for them is done with love and care. Um, there are definitely some doms out there who don't care about their. Those aren't really doms, though. And that is why, that goes back to the community being kind of like weird about pros, is because there's a lot of not so great people out there, but there's a lot of not so great male doms as well that aren't even charging. It's like, we might be seen as predators because of what some bad people have done. But if you know anything about true submission and true dominance, you know that it's done with love and care and consideration. And that is really hard for people to understand, because a woman who takes money for erotic encounters can't possibly care about you. That's generally the idea.
To be honest with you, most of the time they care the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want to keep your ass around so they can continue to get that damn money.
I mean, if you quit, if I make you quit drinking, you got more money to give to me. So
I'm saying.
But no, I mean, we form these relationships with people, and we form these connections, and a good dom wants to see you grow and wants to be proud of you. And, if you want to reduce it to like an analogy of like, you have a car, you have a car, you want to drive a nice car, you're going to improve your car, you're going to make sure it's clean, you're going to take really good care of it, you want to take care of your toys. And I can view these men as toys, but I do genuinely care about them, and I want the best version of them, and I'm happy to bring them to the best version of themselves, both selfishly and for their own good. And I think that is something that kind of goes overlooked, because I think a lot of people really do think that men show up, hand me money, I kick them in the balls, and say, go home to your wife. And that's only like that's part of it.
I mean, they always say the aftercare to it. It's a whole lot of shit. It's like, but see, that's why I say we need the education.
Right.
My granddaddy said it best. First, you a student. The student now has to be the master, and when the master once you become the master, now you got to become the teacher, because you have to teach the next that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I done held this lady up here for a damn good hour out of this piece, man.
Look at us.
I tell you, that's why I love having her on the show, whether it's Premium Smoke Room or it's the Smokers Lounge, man. I love it. And she can always come back. I always will want her back, period.
I'm always happy to chat your ear off. You ask the good questions. I'm here for it.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So before she tell you where you need to, spend that money, yes, Premium Smokers, we will bring her back to Premium Smoke Room at some point this wonderful 2025, people. But for now, she does have episodes that is up for you to watch. All you got to do is just click on the Premium Smoke Podcast icon on Loyal Fans. It will take you to all you got to do is scroll down and binge. I mean, you got what, 2 episodes?
Yep.
I mean, 2 episodes. And one of them, she actually showed her tits.
I did. That was a good day.
It was a beautiful day. I dream about it to this day. You feel me? Plus, on top of that, I'm talking about 6 premium podcasts, plus special events known as the VIP Smoke Room. And people, I go live on X. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you might see some titties on X if you're lucky. You feel me? Live on X. I'm talking about the Premium Smoke Room. The conversations get a little bit more saucier, nastier, and it gets more provocative, more wilder, more unpredictable, more crazier. The tits come out, dildos might pop out. You don't know unless you subscribe. Plus, check out my video store where you can see my work as I give ladies the work, because big dicks grow in the sticks. That's why they used to call me Big Country. Also, for my people on Spotify side, I got you over there. I got a subscription side over there where I got a couple of special things such as Savage Smoke, where I talk to the industry's top male talented producers. We give you that real smoke about the industry, as well as had the smoke on it. I'm gonna be doing a little commentary, shit that I'm gonna get. I'm gonna be no holds barred. You get to listen to me rant and rave about over there. Plus, also you can binge listen to a whole bunch of limited podcast series that I did in the past. Also, podcast episodes from the Premium Smoke Room that is not on the Premium Smoke Room, that's only on Spotify, because I wasn't about to load all the damn episodes, man. It was a lot. Okay, so you got a lot to binge. And more stuff that I'm gonna be doing for y'all over there. So, with that being said, Miss Princess Daddy, tell everybody where they can spend money on you, gorgeous.
All you gotta do is go to dandysplayroom.com and you will find all of my links and all the goodies.
No doubt. So, people, you know what time it is. What did you smoke over? What did you learn today? One, if you're gonna mind fuck somebody, you need to learn how to mind fuck. You feel me? Because your mind fuckmanship can fuck up somebody. That this is more than what y'all see on TV, what y'all read in the books, the images that you see when you go on Twitter. See, a lot of y'all stay behind the camera. Y'all need to get in the field, see what it look like. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer, if you ain't trained to go, you need to go to training now. Back to my point of what you need to learn is that what y'all see with the facade, that ain't what it is. That's why part of the reason why I do this podcast, why I talk to Lorenzo, why I talk to her, I talk to Superior Goddess G and many other Doms, you know what I'm saying, Lexo Cosmo. So you can get a perspective of what this is. I talk to submissives. So you can understand that this is more than, it's not sex. It's 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 more of a mental orgasm. It's more of energy exchange. You know, it's not even role play because it this is release for these people. These submissives, they have the most power because they have to give up power. But it's our job and our responsibility as doms and dominatrix to be responsible with that power and to lead and guide our submissives to greatness and to be great submissives to us, period. And two, you just can't just jump in and say you film dom, financial dom, and you don't even know what it is, period. Hell, you can't even convince somebody to send you $2 on Cash App. You trying to get, you talking about someone sending you 100.
Don't get me started.
But you're doing it because you're seeing everybody else do it. But are you really seeing what they're doing? That's the question I leave you with. So, how we end these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Thank you to my smokers, baby. 4 years and we still smoking. Say goodbye
Woo!
to them, Miss Dandy.
I lost you for a second.
Oh,
Where'd you go?
y'all gonna say goodbye to the people, baby.
Your mouth stopped moving. Goodbye, everyone. Sorry for that awkward moment. Thank
No,
you for
it's
listening. Thanks for putting up with my rants. I love talking to you all. Have a wonderful night.
and we out.